There's a hidden gem written in the scriptures that will help us extend our life, and it's called the Sabbath. The Sabbath. Now, the Sabbath, we're told to keep the Sabbath because it's holy. It's the seventh day or the last day of the week. God took a Sabbath and he relaxed, or ended, or rested from all his work. 6 days he created. The seventh day he rested. Then he tells us, and the scriptures encourages us to take the Sabbath, make it holy. What the Sabbath is a day of rest, and science has already proven, along with the medical community, that if we take a day and we just relax, versus all the work that we do, especially in today's environment. You know, we work so hard, 6 days of hard labor, 6 days of working and doing everything that we do. But if we take that last day, the seventh day, and set it up as a day of rest, you'll be surprised what will happen and the outcome. Physical body, your stress levels down, your blood pressure down, a clearing of your mind, and it's already been told to us by many leaders, many corporate leaders tell us that they have to take a day of rest. Now, traditionally and religiously, the Sabbath, they would actually just sit in the room, sit in the house. They would pray or sing, do nothing. They wouldn't light fire. They'd create no spark, so they wouldn't turn on a light. They wouldn't cook for themselves. The food was already pre-made. You know, that's the religious side of the Sabbath. But the purpose of the Sabbath, you know, when God established the Sabbath, there was no religious dogma behind it. The original part of it was just relax. Take it easy. Don't work for money. Don't work for return or for gain. Focus on rest and relaxation. Today we have church on Sundays, and some people think that that is their Sabbath, when it is not their Sabbath. There's the Sunday, church on Sunday is your first day of the week. It's actually your first fruit. You're giving God your first. Before I begin my work, before I start my day, before I begin back into work, I want to give it to God. The Sabbath is not about giving to God. The Sabbath is about giving to yourself. It's giving to yourself a longevity of life, relaxation, your stress levels down. Enjoy yourself. Many years ago, my wife had to pull me to the rug. Let me put it that way. I was working very hard. I was working in a family ministry with my dad. And we were burning the candle on both ends. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every day I was working. My Sundays were 4 services. Can you imagine 4 services? And each service was about 2.5 hours long. That was just my Sundays. And then Monday went right into work, and we worked all day. And then Tuesday we had a night service on Tuesday evening. And Wednesday we had an evening service. Worked all day long with an evening service. Thursday we had praise and worship practice for one church, which was Spanish or English. And then Friday we'd have it for the other service. And then Friday nights we'd have weddings or quinceañeras. And Saturdays all day long, weddings, quinceañeras, funerals. And then Sunday again for service. So I was really burning out. My wife said, you know, you need to take a day. We need to have a day. She says, I want my day. We can have my day. And you know, I was the one that worked with my dad, and I never said no to my dad. And so she said, I'm going to tell your dad, look, you can either be married to your dad or marry me. Which one do you want? He says, I just need one day. And it was the best thing she ever did. And she even had to talk with my dad because I didn't have the spine to tell my dad that I couldn't do it. And so she told my dad, I want you to know Saturday is going to be my day. She says, that's the day that my husband's going to spend time with us. He's going to spend time with the kids. I had 2 kids at the time. Now I have 3. And says, we need to be able to give that time to the whole family. And when she put her foot down, we were on our way to South Padre Island on a Saturday. I had nothing on the books for me to do. And right when we were pulling into Port Isabel, which is right down the road from the island, to enjoy a day of sun with the family, my father called me and said, I have a quinceañera I need you to do. I can't make it. And so I turned around, and my kids crying in the back, and my wife not happy with me. She just said, that's it. We're going to have to do something. And that was the best decision we ever made. To this day, Saturdays are hers. Now, you know, we're up in age. My father's passed away 20 years. Now our time is our time, but Saturdays, we always take Saturdays. I don't want to do anything. Don't want to work. If we do something, it's not a work for us, it's a pleasure. Now, we don't do it religiously, meaning we don't treat it as a religion. If I treated it as a religion like the Jewish traditions, then I have to make no fire. That means I can't turn on a light. I can't have anything on. They would have lights on and then they'd leave them on for 24 hours. So I can't start a fire. I can't cook a meal. But we're not doing it as a religious connotation. We're doing it as God initially established it. You need a day of rest. Now, my friends, I want to talk to you. You need a day of rest. You need to know how to relax. Take one day out of your week. It should be from the evening after you're done work on Friday. Don't do anything. The world has stolen it from you. It's convinced that you got to go to the bar, go to the game, go do something with your boys, go spend your money. And really on then Saturday takes place and you're all worn out. You burnt yourself out. Your energy levels are gone. Instead, just relax. Take a Friday night, an all-day Saturday, and just do what pleases you, what makes your stress level down. If working on carpentry at the home or doing things with your wife, honeydews and working and mowing, sometimes that relaxes people. That's not work. Work is what you do for your income, what you do to feed yourself. That's work. So take it. Take your family, enjoy yourself, go sit in a room and stare at each other, go to a baseball game. Just relax and learn how to take that seventh day, make it holy before God. From the time you get out of work at night on Friday to the time Saturday evening rolls around, just relax and you watch what happens to your blood pressure, watch what happens to your relaxation, your longevity of life will be intact and you'll be able to enjoy yourself greatly. That's so important. Then Sunday morning, get back into the game, give it to God. That's your first day of the week. And give it to God and make it holy before Him. And say, you know what, Lord? I'm giving you my first day. And let that be day of... Now, you can rest on that day too, or you can work on that day, but make sure that you give it to the Lord Most High. All right? And go to church and worship God. Pay your tithes and offerings. Honor Him. Remember Him. Love on Him. That's not your Sabbath. That's your first fruit. All right, I'm Pastor Clark, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday morning. 2 services, 9 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock. But the time that I'm producing this is my Sabbath. And no, this is not work. It's just relaxation. Got my baby right there. I love you guys greatly. Go take on the day. God bless you.